Is it some bright ride on my core? This is the moment you're meant to know.
Well, hello there, sunflowers, and how are you guys today? Well, apparently I am a bit confused and a little bit baffled about what's going on with the whole Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively case. It's like the case that keeps on giving. It's like first it's over, then it's not over, and then it's just like an appeal or not an appeal. It trying to get dismissal, not getting dismissal, viewing text messages, not viewing text messages. So honestly, guys, this is so long for just a little tiny incident. Like, I don't know who's dragging it out at this point. Is Blake Lively dragging it out? Or is the court / the judge dragging this out? Because this is honestly feeling like a waste of court financial government resources, because what are we doing? But anyway, so yes, I'm here to let you guys know about we've made some progress. So the progress that we have made is allegedly there was 13 charges altogether and 10 of them was dropped. And amongst those 10, one was the defamation and one was the sexual assault. So the case of Blake trying to say that Justin was trying to defame her, smear her image, and basically tried to assault her on set. The court's just like, yeah, no, we're going to dismiss that. However, that was 10 out of 13 charges. So that means 3 still remain. And of those 3, one of them is retaliation. Now, they can see how Justin would have tried to retaliate against Blake, but then you got to look. But honestly, if you guys can literally see that, then can you not see how Blake would be in the wrong and why that would trigger Baldoni to retaliate? I don't know. You guys got to look into that one a little bit more. And maybe if they do, they'll also drop that one too. Because if you could drop the defamation and the sexual assault, which I feel like were the major ones that she was really, like all the evidence was going towards, then I feel as though why are we still talking about Justin Baldoni retaliating? Because this is what all of this is about, is Justin Baldoni's behavior to Blake Lively. And maybe she was just like stacking on a bunch of things, making little petty accusations, and the court is starting to dwindle it down to like what really matters and what is like evidence to build up a case for. But still, it looks, some people might say it'd be looking in the favor for Blake Lively. But I feel as though it is looking more in the favor for Justin Baldoni, if you ask me. However, there is some slight thing out there. Oh, yes. Please tell me and enlighten me, guys, down below in the comments, what is apparently Blake Lively did allege. And this is why the retaliation can still hold up in cases, because allegedly Blake Lively did truly have some rights and she didn't work for Baldoni, and she was like, maybe Baldoni worked under her. So like the way of people, maybe the way of who thought was who in charge because of who was like directing and stuff like that, and who had their like credits and stuff like that. So because it was like, well, who's really in charge on set, I think is what they're really fighting about. And I think because Blake can prove that she definitely did have some sort of rights or some sort of hierarchy over Justin Baldoni in this case, that this is why this retaliation of, oh, you realize that actually it wasn't this, and now you just want to get back at Blake because of X, Y, and Z. That's the way it's looking to me. But like I told you guys, I'm a bit lost in the sauce of these details because I keep thinking that we are finished and we've concluded, and we have not. So because of that, we are still going on. But one thing that is interesting is that Justin Baldoni team is happy that the majority of the charges have been let go because they were serious allegations, and that they are feeling as though that the court is reviewing this information fairly, and they're not swaying in the favor of Blake Lively because of who she is and who her influence is. You got to also think about it too. Sometimes when there's two really famous celebrities going at each other, it's like, well, really, who has the more influence? So because of that, they're glad to see it's not playing that way. So honestly, I would think I'm going to do a reading on this because I just need to figure out who's it looking in whose favor at this point, because for some reason this is not as cut and dry, I guess, as everybody assumed, or at least as I had assumed. So I guess if it's not so cut and dry, then I guess that means that there really was some maybe foul play, or that there was some unfairness or unjust going on behind scenes of They End With Us. But honestly, guys, the movie wasn't even really worth all this drama and hoopla. Why can't they see that maybe like Blake did this to like gain up some PR to sell? It's not like to sell It Ends With Us, because literally isn't like the lawsuit that she is basically putting up against Justin Baldoni kind of mirroring herself in the movie? So you got to think. I'm just saying. Sometimes sometimes acting becomes too reality, right? But anyway, let's just pull some cards to see what's going on with this court case. And the first person I'm going to pull cards on is Justin Baldoni, because most of the charges against him have been dropped. So therefore, I'm going to pull cards on him first. Well, he's feeling like the Tower. That's quite interesting. And now let's just see how Blake Lively is. I wonder if I'm going to wish that I had reversed them. Usually I don't. And the card that came out for Blake Lively was the King of Cups. And honestly, like I said, I'm not surprised. These cards kind of fit. The only reason why I say that is because the King of Cups, while emotional and still feminine in its right, because it's the cups, and the cups is all about emotions being more receptive and inwardy and feely, as they say. However, it's the king, not the queen. And I could see that being Blake Lively as somebody who, while yes, is emotional and is feminine, she is strong within her energy, that she's almost dominated by her emotions, or like is dominating when her emotions get involved. Like, it's like once Blake gets her emotions all tied up or involved, or she's like led by her emotions, or maybe her emotions drive her to be more strong, more bold, more standing and be assertive for herself. And I see all of that's going on with her. But then you got to wonder and question, if 10 out of 13 charges were dropped, why would Justin Baldoni be feeling like a tower moment, like it's all coming down? Now, maybe he could be feeling like this court case is crashing and crumbling down right before his eyes. Maybe that's how he could be interpreting it. But hey, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not trying to be a bit biased. I'm really not trying to be biased here and say that that Justin is feeling a bit more positive. I could honestly say too that here, in this sense, that this whole lawsuit and this whole case that's going on, like, while yes, those cases, the 10 out of 13 were dropped, he still got 3 more to go through, and he still has his reputation on the line. So it's just like drudging it up, and it's something that he feels like at any moment this could turn left for him. All right. I had to find a way to flip it. But honestly, let's figure out what the block card is. I'm not surprised that the block card is the 7 of Pentacles. And that's basically the phase that we're all in. The waiting to see the results. Waiting to see where this court case goes. So Blake is standing as the King of Cups. Strong, defensive, and dominant in her energy, and is standing like 10 toes down on how she felt. And for Blake and for Justin, he is feeling as though all of this is taxing on him, weighing him down. It's like hell. Basically, he just wants to get this over with, everything bad that comes with this. He is just like crumbling it down. Can I just get through this moment and period and phase and move on to something better, more joyous in my life, because this is not joyous. So it's like the waiting phase is both torturous for him, and honestly he still seems like the victim. But hey, like I said, I'm not trying to be biased here, so let's just see what's at the foundation of this court case. I'm not surprised. The Seven of Swords. I wonder who's being sneaky in this situation. But no, for real. Let's see what's in the past. The Sun. Okay, I do see there was maybe some sort of positivity in the past between them, but I do see that whatever was in the past, that it is being highlighted. So whether there truly is some things that maybe could be possibly to show that Blake Lively is not making up everything, that Justin is at fault in some sort of way, and that he might actually walk away with some sort of charge, or actually walk away not scot-free. The Sun is showing that there has been whatever happened between them is definitely being exposed, and it's definitely being reviewed and looked over with great detail, because the Sun looks over nothing. It does not even, oh God, I'm messing up all my phrases these days. The Sun leaves no stone unturned. There you go. Because the Sun's going to expose everything, and it knows every little single detail. So because of that, nothing can truly hide from the Sun and from the light. So because of that, that's exactly what we're seeing here with the court case. That's why it takes so much time to get this case analyzed, because of the depth that it comes with. So let's just see here, because like I said, there is some sort of sneaky hidden energy with the Seven of Swords energy, and pair that with the Sun, that sounds like contradiction. So you have to wonder, is somebody's behavior going to be exposed? Like I said, there truly could be some evidence out there that truly would make Justin Baldoni look guilty. So because of that, I'm not going to truly say that just because a whole majority of the charges were let off, like more than 50%, that means it's in his favor. It looks like that on the surface, but we won't truly really know that until the very end of this. Like Justin he's kind of like sweating bullets a little bit. It can go any certain way. Maybe if he's guilty, when you're guilty like that, you're a little bit nervous, waiting on the edge, that bated breath, wondering, will something finally make me look wrong? Will somebody scratch a little bit beneath the surface? Will something pop up in somebody's mind that wasn't there before, and be like, wait a minute, and start thinking about it a little bit differently? I don't know. So that's what Blake could be, not Blake, that's what Justin could be worried about. And that's exactly what this Tower card could symbolize. So let's just see. We got to keep pulling cards, but truthfully, we won't know until I pull the future card. But let's see what's above their head. The Five of Pentacles, I don't blame them. And their future is the Moon card. Interesting. Why I say that's interesting, because in their head, the Five of Pentacles symbolizes to me the sense of when it comes to this court case and whatever sort of relationship, friendship, acquaintanceship, partnership they had, it's like vacant. It's like something that they don't think about. It's something that's like dead, gone, barren, not fruitful. Working with you was like maybe a waste of time. Look what it like brought me out in the end. So they're like feeling like all these sorts of emotions for each other. And because of that, we see moving forward that energy is going to progress into the Moon energy, which, go figure, even though the Moon symbolizes phases and this is just a period in time, and we'll figure, and that this court isn't always going to continue lasting out. But I also see here that the Moon symbolizes that when it comes internally, when it comes in, because I'm looking at all the major arcana cards, we have the Sun and the Moon, which is very complementary and actually very full circle now that I think about it, because the Sun and the Moon are complementary and they work together. They are a nice pair together, the light and the darkness. And that's exactly what I see right here. Almost weirdly enough, this court case, you know what is weirdly enough? It's like Blake and Justin had like a really nice chemistry, or there was something between them where they like it could have blossomed into something beautiful, but then because something went wrong or astray, or emotions get involved and stuff like that, it turned sour, and what could have been what could have been like a beautiful partnership, a beautiful show, a beautiful, we could continue working like this in the future, turned into something sour, something dark, something gloomy. Um, we have gloomy, and it's another word that's coming to me. That one is like dreary, gloomy and dreary. And now it's like, I don't want to say like having regrets, but just it just wasn't worth it. That's what they're feeling. Both of them are feeling essentially because of the situation that they ended up in. And maybe one person could be feeling like whatever I did, it wasn't worth it to get us in this predicament. Or maybe one person feels as though, man, why did I even try to work with you? Maybe they were having like second thoughts. And then maybe somebody like was like, hey, maybe give this person a chance. And they were like, okay. And now they're like, I wish I would have listened to my instincts. All those different things, those things that come up, that when things go bad, you start looking back in hindsight of all the things that were like telling you not to do it or go forward or push through with this idea, but you still went through it anyway because you saw the potential and you were just drawn to it. That's just the kind of vibe and energy that I'm getting here when it comes to Blake and Justin. But let's just find out here. And we also know that Blake really wanted to like take over and she didn't take over according to the media, because she also was supposed to direct like the second part of this. I'm not sure if there is going to be a second part of It Ends With Us, honestly. And if so, it's not going to be the same without Justin Baldoni. And I sure know he's not going to be back on set with you after this. So because of that, it's like, where does this franchise and where does Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni go from here? Where do they go from this court case? Okay. Ooh, okay. First card just wanted to flip right off. We have a dusk. I like that because we're evolving from darkness. We're still revolving. It's still a full circle. They're really on a weird loop cycle. Almost feels kind of karmic, because how's the dusk where it says not quite light? And like I said, we started off with the sun. We ended off in the moon. So we're at night. So now it's not quite light. So that means the sun is getting ready to rise again. And we're back at the sun. So it's like a full circle. It's like almost feeling like a cat mouse kind of game of like chasing each other around and around and around and around and around and around in a circle. But that's the kind of vibe that I'm getting, where it's like no resolve that's ever truly going to come with them. So maybe for them, it's just best for them to make a split, even though they could find a way to make a balance, because that's what dusk is find the balance between the light and the dark, because the two had to find a way to blend their energies together. But honestly, if you're not like in a relationship with each other, what's the really point of trying to like work out those kind of kinks? Especially because it's like one of those things, when it's good, it's good. When it's bad, it's bad. So it's like, it's not lucrative in the long run, especially for a friendship. And you got to think about when it comes to your career, if this is what's going to happen when it gets bad between you guys. If you work together in the future, then it's like one of us is going to bring each other down, and it's just not worth it. But let's see how they're going to still continue moving forward from this. I see a sickness now, not literally, metaphorically, just sick of the fighting, sick of the bickering and at each other's necks in the court cases, of course. And so because of that, it's just, what do you do best when you're like feeling sick? You separate yourself, you isolate yourself, you take some time out for yourself, you look out for yourself. That's where you can start being a bit more selfish, even though you don't literally mean to be selfish in that sense, but just selfish in the sense that, that whatever you got going on, you got to prioritize yourself and your well-being. And that's exactly what I see here when it comes to Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. It's just them, just like maybe they could not literally be nauseous, but you know how when you're just so disgusted with someone, you literally feel emotions and sensations and symptoms of being disgust, frown face, feeling like you smell something foul, upset stomach, all those emotions, just thinking about them, and your stomach just starts turning. You feel like you got to throw up. All those like things of just when you think of somebody that just like physically makes you sick because of how disgusted you are with their energy. Yeah, that's the kind of sickness that I'm vibing with when it comes to Justin and Blake. That's just how much they're at each other like that, that I don't think they can try to find a resolve or get past that sort of energy. But let's just find one more card. Well, very fitting. Very fitting. The go card comes up, and you're just like, why would the go card, the green light to keep going, pop up? Well, that literally means to go, to exit out of this. Once the court case is, split your ways, go your separate ways, and just keep on moving with your life, and to try to not work on another project with each other. Just make sure your paths like don't cross. That's just the resolve that I'm just getting with Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. Like, after all this, at the first, it was like, yeah, I was really ready to fight tooth and nail, coming back and forth at each other. But now it's like been dragged out for like this long, and like emotions kind of like settled, or they're settling into their energies. They're starting to realize, yeah, this isn't worth it. I want to get this over with. This is a stinger on my reputation, on both of their reputations. And I know they want to get back to the working career. They want to get back to work and making money, directing movies and stuff like that. So in order to do that, they got to drop this case, go their separate ways, let bygones be bygones, honestly. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading on Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively and their court case. I was just a bit curious, so I just pulled some cards to see where is it going, because like the Seven of Pentacles said as the block card, it's all up in the air where the direction of who is going to win or lose, or if nobody wins or lose, and it's like a draw where like both of them are equally guilty and not guilty. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this quick check-in. I sure did. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. It would really mean a lot to the channel. We would really appreciate it. Please and thank you. Become a sunflower and spread those beautiful sunflower seeds all over the beautiful earth. Like the sun card says, spread love, joy, and positivity, especially for people that aren't able to see eye to eye with each other like Justin and Blake. So with that being said, leave your comments down below, and I will see you sunflowers in the next one. Give this video a thumbs up, and you know what I say before we hop off. Hype us up. Subscribe to us. And I'll see you sunflowers in the next one. Sunflowers.